Hi everyone, my name's Carla, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Shay Carla is what I'm thinking about calling it. But yeah, one of my New Year's resolutions was to start a YouTube channel, do more creative things. I've been watching YouTube for the better half of my life, and it always looks like so much fun, so I wanted to get on the action. So I like to do a lot of hobbies. I think the name Shay Carla fits me, or if you're French, Shay Carla. It fits me and my channel because I love being at home. And Shay, C-H-E-Z, means like the home of like someone's home. So I love being in my home. I love being in my apartment. It's so much fun. It's very cute. So I want to show all the fun things that I love to do in my apartment. All my fun little hobbies. And yeah, so that's kind of the gist of my channel for the moment. But yeah, I really love sewing and all things crafty, and I'm a very beginner. I'm a novice. Those are the same word, I think. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this little tote bag that I made from a pattern that I got off of Etsy, so I'll link the pattern below. But it's a great beginner project. It's really easy, and I think beginner projects should be simple. They should show you the basics of how like garments and things are constructed. This has a lining, so it shows you kind of like how things with the lining are made and pulling things inside and out, and those types of things. And it's like very satisfying. Like I can do this in like 45 minutes. I've made like 10 of these so far, and it's like you get a nice little thing at the end of your little sewing day. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm using the same red polka dot fabric I got at a fabric store near me. For this one I had a black lining, but for the one I'm going to make today I don't have any more of that lining fabric, so I'm just going to use the red on both sides and it'll be fine. But yeah, it's really simple. I cut out all the pieces already. The pattern, very simple. Oh, looks like it got a little wet there, but you know, very easy pattern to cut out. And the instructions for this were really helpful too, really simple. This is by MotifStudio, and they had lots of good pictures to explain what's going on, because I mean, this is a very simple project, but sometimes I'm like confused. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm going to show you today. I live in New York City, so there will not be any shortage of noise, and I live on a very busy street, and I'm not going to tell you where I live because that's none of your business. But anyway, yeah, sorry about the noise. I'm also filming this on my phone, whatever. So if you're wondering about the quality, that's why. But it is the new iPhone 16, so maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. First, what we're gonna do is, this is the pocket. This is not the same size as the pocket that the pattern suggests. I just had this like rectangle piece of fabric and I was like, that's great for a pocket. This channel is very much do as I say, not as I do. But I really should be following directions. That's something I struggle with, is following directions, but this will be a perfectly fine pocket. It'll be fine. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna top stitch just across the top. You're gonna fold the back down and just stitch right across. That's our first step, very simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So very simple, I just sewed a straight line across the top. Looks great. So cutting off all my extra thread, and then something that you actually do, like you have to do, is press all your seams. I recently just watched a video by Kiana Bonolo, love her, hey girl. And people really love to skip that step, and I understand why. But like, don't do it or don't not press your seams. Like, you should press your seams because it makes everything look so much better. So this is my makeshift ironing board, which is just this like ledge in my kitchen kitchen, whatever. So I just have a towel down. It's, you know, probably not the best way to do it, but it works for me. I think you can buy like tabletop ironing boards. I might invest in that. But yeah, nice and flat. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pin down all these other sides and we're gonna we're gonna pin it to the lining. So again, I'm using the same fabric for the shell and the lining, so this might be a little confusing if you're trying to follow along. Follow the directions, don't follow me. I'm just doing this because it's what I have and I think it'll be cute. So take one piece of your lining fabric and you're just gonna pin it to the lining fabric. Don't sew across the top, or don't pin on the top because you need that open so you can put your stuff in there. But I'm just gonna pin it in the middle. You can measure. I won't be doing that, but you could. So yeah, I'm just taking these glass head pins. These are really good. If you have like long nails, like I do, it's good. It's like easy to grip onto. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna fold down the edge so it's nice and straight, and then just pin it down. And then we're gonna sew all the way across, but not yet. So one moment. And also there's a flame. I pin that down. You can press like fold it down and press it. It'll kind of help it stick down a little better. Not really necessary, but it might help just to keep it down. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew kind of in a U shape. So starting from here, just gonna sew all the way around, and then we'll have our little pocket. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Yay! So now we've sewed it all the way around, and now you can put stuff in there. This is probably too small for like a phone, but you could make a bigger pocket for a phone. Sometimes I like to take scrap fabric and put like a little, like a skinny pocket over here for like a pencil or like a pen. I always have to have a pen or a pencil on me, preferably a pen, preferably, whatever, a pen. So it's fun. I mean, you can kind of get creative and do whatever you think makes the most sense. But yeah, so I have this here, and now I'm just gonna press the seams that I just sewed. Make sure they all are flat. And yeah, so there you have it. That's one side. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew, again, this is the lining. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew the linings together. So I'm gonna take, hello. Okay, so now another one of the linings, we're gonna sew them right sides together, and we're gonna sew down this way and this way and this way. So basically just sewing these pieces together. Very simple. Again, I have pin cushion here. I need to get one or like make one that like I can put on my wrist, but I am always wearing a watch. Difficult. I don't know. But I have pins, but I also have these little clippy things. I just watched a video today that, again, Kiana Vanilla, love her, put out. I have these little clippy sewing clips that I got from Amazon, and she mentioned these in her video. I was like, ah, yes. I was like, I have them. So definitely recommend these for if you have like thicker fabrics. They're fun and colorful, whatever. Sometimes I just like using them as opposed to pins, but sometimes there are things where like you can't get around it, like you gotta use a pin. So yeah, I'm just gonna pin or clip this all the way down, and yeah, and clip these two pieces together. So make sure that your fabric lines up with itself. That's something that I often like have issues with, is maybe I don't follow directions or don't cut things out the right way, and the like pattern pieces don't really line up. I'm also in the midst right now of making like a dress. I don't know if it's in frame, but I have the instructions like pinned on my fridge. I'm making this McCall's dress pattern. I've never used like a pattern, like a McCall's pattern or any of those patterns you buy at a store. I've always just like downloaded the ones from Etsy. But I'm trying it and it's so far, it's good. I mean, something, I don't know, I just find following directions like very difficult. I don't know what that says about me, probably a lot, but so, okay. So now I'm just gonna sew down and across. I'm gonna keep this corner here, I'm gonna keep that open because we're gonna do something with that in a little bit. So, here we go. So I sewed across here and here, and also this last piece. I keep like turning my stop recording just because my phone just, I don't trust her to have enough space or to, you know, whatever, do what I want it to do. So apologies for that. But yeah, I'm just gonna sew the last piece and then we're gonna do something else. Forget what happens next. Okay, so I knew this would happen, but I didn't think it would happen this soon. Which is, I only had maybe like a quarter of a bobbin left, and I have run out of thread. You can see it stopped just short of the end, so I will have to redo that. Well, just the end, I guess, which, you know, could be worse. So please hold. Okay, so I rewound my bobbin and I just stitched the end here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna press these seams, but wait, we're gonna press them open. So we're gonna press them so they're flat open. This is important because when we put the shell piece together, we want it to all lay flat, because otherwise it'll be like all bunchy and it won't really look good. I mean, like, it would be fine. If you forgot to do this, it would be fine. But it like looks a little bit better. I'm sure there's also like a tactical, like practical reason, but whatever. That I do not know. So I'm just gonna press these seams open, and after that we're gonna box the corners. So get excited. I'm gonna stand up to do this because normally I stand up and iron, but sometimes it is easy to just in my chair. I just have like my iron plugged in. I used to sew in my living room, which is that way, but it just was not, it's just small. Kitchen is like a better environment for me, and I didn't like that my iron was so far away, because like this is like a pretty good makeshift ironing station. So I didn't like that it was so far away, because I didn't like to have to go back and forth, but also I get scared. I get scared that it's gonna catch on fire or something. So having it right behind me means I'm closer to the fire if it occurs. So then I'll get flamed instantly rather than a delayed situation. So whatever. Yeah, I'm just pressing these open. Ooh. And yay. Okay. So now I come back. And you see they're all pressed open. I don't really press them open, like, I just do it like on the one side. As you can kind of see, it's like this side, and this side does not have this piece going over. Not really sure what to do there, but this has always worked fine for me when I've made this project, whatever. So now what we're gonna do is box the corners. So right now it's flat, a flat situation, flat garment, not garment, flat little tote. But now what we're gonna do is box it so you can put stuff in it. So very fun, very easy. You just kind of pinch what I did here, pinch them out, and just whoop. And then we're gonna sew across here. Very simple, very easy. I like to use little clips for this part. The pins also work too. So I'm just gonna clip these together, and sew across. So again, very simple. And I'll be done with this, I wouldn't say soon, because it won't be soon, but within the hour. And again, any advice that I have for beginner sewists, sewers, whatever, is just to sew as much as you can. You get so much better with every iteration of a thing that you make. So again, I've made like 10 of these and given them to my friends, and I've gotten much better since the beginning ones. So sorry to my friends who I gave the first ones to, they're not as good. I'll make you a new one. But yeah, it's really fun. Again, like, this is a really great project to practice on, so definitely recommend the pattern, and it was affordable on Etsy. I like this store's patterns. They have a lot of really cool stuff, so definitely recommend checking them out. So now we're gonna just sew right across what I showed you earlier, just making sure when you do sew across that this seam is flat and open. You don't want it to be like over here, you want it to be flat. It just looks nicer. And same on the other side too. So if you really wanted, you could pin and make sure these stay flat, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm freestyling, you know, that never ends well, but it'll be okay. So yeah. One side done, very easy. Another tip is, while you sew, cut your threads as you go, because it's just the better way to do it. You're not gonna want to do it at the end. You're gonna miss things. You're gonna be wearing something and there's like random thread there, and you're gonna be like, oh no, don't do that. Cut them and snip them as you go. I have a thread snipper. This machine, this Jano machine, actually didn't come with a thread snipper, so I just bought some on Amazon. It's like a sticker, and just stick it on with the thread cutter. I also have these tiny scissors that I use sometimes. You can also, I want to get a pair of those like little claws where you kind of hold it like this. That could be helpful too. Whatever. Regular scissors are fine to cut your threads. To cut your fabric and paper, you need separate ones, so that you should do separately. Yay. Okay. So now, as you can see, it's inside out, but as you can see, now it's like a little bag. So you can kind of see the progress, which again, really important for a beginner project. Is like, at least in my opinion, it's like, you want like some instant gratification to like feel good about what you're doing, whatever. But you can see it's a little tote bag, so very cute. I'm gonna press these down just to make them nice and flat. So that's the lining done for now. We're gonna leave this. You're gonna leave this inside out for the moment. What we're gonna do now is take the shell pieces. So these are the shell pieces again. They're the same, you know, color, just because that's what I have. But feel free to get creative. Use different colors, different color combinations, different thread combinations. It's all very fun. Cool. So now what you're gonna do is we're gonna put the handles on your shell fabric. So I will quick iron these. You can, like, it's just basically like a lot of folding and folding. So you fold it this way, and then you can iron that to make it flat, or you can kind of just go in and just fold it that way. That's what you're gonna end up doing, is kind of folding it into fourths and folding it in on itself. Ironing helps to do like a center fold, but you don't have to. Again, do as I say, not as I do. You're gonna have two pieces for two handles. Okay, so again, fold it in half, iron it down, fold it the sides in, iron them down, and then you fold it in half again, iron it down. So it just is a little easier to do the pressing before you sew, just so it like all stays flat. But these are my two little handles, so very cute. I don't always use the pattern handles, just because I try to make the most of my scrap fabric, and sometimes I'll just use whatever scrap fabric that I have. and the handles might be a little shorter or skinnier or whatever. But I'm following the pattern today for you guys, so you know what to do. Yeah, so now what I'm gonna do is, this is the open side. I'm just gonna sew all the way down. Easy, easy, easy. Okey-doke. That is one handle down. Get rid of this. And I'll press this in a moment, but let me just do the other one too. I noticed midway through I was sewing that my thread was kind of unthreaded from this little section, so fix that. And when I'm sewing, again, this is not stretchy material, so that's like what you should be using as a beginner, is non-stretch material. You don't have to like push or really like, you know, pull it through the fabric. You know, that's not really necessary. The machine has little like teeth that'll move the fabric forward. So if you do like push stuff or pull it, it won't be a totally flat and nice, even stitch. So just be careful with that. I'm getting a huge glare from my machine. So all I'm really doing is just making sure it stays straight and just guiding it. Very simple. Success. So that's you done. So now I'm just gonna press this down, make it nice and flat. Anyway, so now what we're gonna do, again, this is the shell, and we're gonna take our two shell pieces and we're gonna take them and right sides out, right side up. I'll just do one at the moment. You're gonna basically attach your handle, and you wanna put it so it's like this. You're gonna attach your handle. You can measure if you want to. You can, you know, to make it super perfect. But basically, you're gonna sew your handle like this, sewing it down. And it might seem counterintuitive, but it'll make sense later. That's, I feel like, the MO for sewing is like, it seems wrong, but just go with it. Just trust me, man. Like it'll be fine. For like everything. So use your common sense, but also just follow the directions, and it'll make sense. This when you're beginning, before you get that knowledge of understanding how to sew. But yeah, we're gonna pin the handles again down. You're gonna make sure it's not twisted anywhere, but pin them down. And I'll pin it on one side, and then just make sure it matches the other side when you pin the handle on the other side, because you want them to line up, because it's your tote bag, and you want your tote bag to line up. You have your handles line up. So, woo. I'm using like my pins for this. Again, I go back and forth with using the glass head pins and the little clips. Use whatever you have, whatever, you know, makes you feel comfortable. So, up. And this one is right here. Yay. It's hot as hell in my kitchen right now. Again, New York apartments famously very warm. It's also midday, it's 2:15. The sun is out, and it's really heating up my apartment. So, you know, we'll see if I can make any YouTube videos in the summertime, because I do have AC units, but they're loud as hell. And if I don't have the AC on, I will pass away. So we'll see what I get up to. I'll have to get a little creative or be quick when I do these things, which is just not me. Anyway, so here's what we got going on. We got our two pieces, and the handles are pinned down. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sew across. You can do one continuous stitch across if you don't feel like, you know, picking up your, you know, cutting the thread. That's what I do sometimes if I'm lazy. I might do that today, honestly. But just sew these down, basically. So yeah. Okay, so we did it. Oopsies. Ugh. Okay, did it. So now that you have your handles on, very exciting things. Now what we're gonna do is sew these together. So we're gonna sew them right sides together, and the handles should be tucked in so they stay out of the way. So we wanna, and like turn down. So what we're gonna do now is do what we did for the lining. So we're just gonna sew again down here, or basically repeat the same steps here. So I'm gonna do that because it's boring, you don't need to see that again. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I basically did the same thing to the lining that I did the same thing to the shell. So now it looks like a little bag, cute. So what we're gonna do now is we have this, right? We're gonna take our lining and we're gonna turn our lining right side out. So you're gonna turn it right side out. Very cute, very cute. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this inside of the shell. So again, seeming counterintuitive, but just trust me, it'll all be fine. You're just gonna stick it in there. Again, make sure the handles are stuck in there. You don't want them to be on the outside. But we are so close to being done. But yeah, you're gonna put them together, and then you can make sure it's lined up by lining up your seams. So that's typically what I do first, is I pin or clip the seams together just so it stays aligned, because what we're gonna do now is just stitch all the way across. Well, we're gonna leave a turning hole, but we're gonna stitch basically these two pieces together. And if you line everything up by the seams, everything else should stick together. So that's what we're gonna do. I leave a turning hole. You can kind of leave it wherever you want, but I typically just leave it in between these two handles, just so I remember. But I typically will start on like one side of the handle and just sew all the way across, and then stop on the inside of the other side. Not necessary, just leave a turning hole. So yeah, I'm just gonna sew all the way across now. Okay, we're almost done. So I sewed all the way around, okay? And I left this little gap so we can turn it inside out. And that's what we're gonna do now. So what you're gonna do is, oh, did not sew this. Okay, I'll have to sew that down. My fabric wasn't totally aligned, so kind of came undone a little bit, but that's okay, because we do have a final step, which is to just top stitch around the entire thing to make it extra secure. But basically, you just pull this out, push it through, and then you kind of have it like a little tube of your fabric, and this is your lining because it has the pocket, and then all you do is just shove it in there, and then you're all done. Almost. But yeah, then you have this. Isn't it cute? So you want to make sure that you make sure all the corners are like pointed out. You just kind of use your hand in this type of project. Other projects you might need a turning tool. You can use like a pencil or something. But yeah, yay! So I have this together. I'm gonna press my seams down just to make them nice and flat. I'm gonna press them before and after I sew. I just like to do that just to really make sure that the fabric is laying the way I want it to lay. But yeah, I'm gonna press the edges and then sew it down, and then we're gonna be all done, and then you will be rid of me. So, well, until next time. But yay! So now you're done. You're finished. But yeah, I really love the way this turned out. Again, I've done this a million times, so I know it'll look good, but practice makes perfect really with anything, but especially with sewing, you'll just get so much better the more you do it. But there's my little scissors. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I like to create things and I like to be creative, and I want to share it with the world, so that's kind of why I wanted to start this channel. But I hope to do more sewing. I have a lot of you know, things that I want to make. I think some of them are a little bit too ambitious for me, to be quite honest, but I'm hoping that I can share some more sewing projects with you guys, some easy ones and maybe some challenges and just see how it goes. But yeah, I hope to do more creative things on this channel, and yeah, so subscribe. That's really all I had to say. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.